When we as individuals, societies, and nations want to achieve our goals and want to be active and productive in the current challenging world, the main and very important aspect and effective phenomenon and factor that enable us to achieve our goals and be active and productive and continue the current challenging life side by side with other active societies and nations there is education, especially effective and practical education in gaining effective and practical knowledge. Actually, when we talk about education, there are different aspects and methods of education, especially higher education. Nowadays, there is a very effective and important style and method of education, which is outcome-based education, or OBE, which focuses on the outcomes of the education and the real helpful practical aspect of the knowledge in education, which is the practical fundamental, which has a practical fundamental and reflective aspects, and help students and educators to look on the fundamental aspects of the issues when they learn, when they study, and also learn how to use and apply the different aspects of things when they learn, and have a reflective aspect of the relationships with their studying fields and with different subjects. It means that it helps individuals, students, and educators to transform from a passive participant of the educational institutions, university, or any departments into the active participant, and think and decide how to continue their studies, how to apply or use the knowledge and things or information that they gain throughout their daily studies in the practical and real life. And actually, the outcome-based and student-centered education, which focuses on the outcomes of the education and also focuses on the results and practical results of knowledge that students gain from their daily education, and also allow students to choose some particular aspects based on their needs, based on the assessment of the working market, and based on the daily improvements in the different professional aspects and disciplines, to continue their study and education, and to be able to use different aspects of education and knowledge when they graduate from the higher education institution. Another kind of education which is also very important and very effective, that produce technicians or professional workforce, which is vocational education. Actually, it's a kind of in the level of diploma, or sometimes in the last 2 years of higher school. Some countries they choose vocational education instead of ordinary education to enable individuals or their students to use different tools and technology, and when they graduate, they be able to work as technicians in different aspects of working institutions, or different aspects of professional market. Because nowadays, in the challenging, in the competitive market, just theory or some information does not or do not help individuals to overcome all challenges and perform well. They have to know how to use different tools. They have to know use their knowledge and information in the real and practical lives. And actually, when nations and countries that use the outcome-based and vocational kinds of education, actually vocational in the medium or low level of education, actually it's mostly for 2 years after graduation of high school, or even in the last 2 years of high school, and outcome-based education in the higher level of education, like bachelor degree, master's degree, and they teach and show to their students and for the participants how to use different aspects of knowledge, technical knowledge, and how to use different tools to work as a active and productive members of their productive market. And also another kind and method of education actually different countries use, including my country Afghanistan, which is a kind of classic education that focuses on text focuses kind of education and focusing on schools. Just the enroll students and the students spend about 6 months for each semester, and just they read many texts and they just participate in different exams, and the examiners and the process of assessment focus on their scores. And actually nowadays scores doesn't help students when they go to their life, to their real life, and to the practical life, and go to the working market. Actually the market organizations in real life asks them to show some real skills and some helpful skills instead of scores. That's why instead of score centered and text centered or text focused style of education, which is not very helpful nowadays, it's better all nations, all universities, and all educational organizations focus on outcome based and student centered style and method of education, and also try to expand the practical aspect of vocational education. I am Dr. Abdul Qahar Sarwari. If you think such discussions are helpful, please subscribe the channel. Thank you.